Hey everyone, welcome back. And today we'll see one interesting question. So before that, I'll just tell my plan for today. So okay, today I just start off solving this header body trader concepts. Okay, so we have more questions around these areas. Okay, so here. So for this one, I just planned for validation today actually. So I planned for plan for solving this validation concept. But before we go into this one, okay, so there are a lot of concepts in this one. So before we see this validation code, okay, validation concept in this interview question, like we can solve this fuse question, okay. So because we need to we need to put the fuse component in this area, okay. So in this interview question, so this one we'll see tomorrow. So today we'll just see simple fuse component and how does that work. So for that I have brought you one interview question. So this one is a previously asked interview question. Okay. So we'll see this question and then and then we'll come back to this header polytrailer concept like tomorrow. Okay. So we'll just see the given input and output. Okay. So they were given input. Okay. ID column and then name. Okay. So 10 comma C, 20 comma B, and then 30 comma C. The output like you want. Okay. You want to see the ID remains same. Okay. So we can simply pass the ID. But the second column, is like see we have reversed the order. Okay. So they are asking us to reverse the order. So how can you do that? Like there is no change in the rows. So we don't need any any normalized compound or any other compound to increase the rows. Okay. So all three rows are like getting transformed with three rows. So like simple reformat and then we need to sort the order. Okay. So maybe reformat and then we have to sort. Okay. So after that we have this fuse compound coming into the picture. Okay. So we'll see how this solution is going. Okay. So first I'll tell about the solution, okay, and then we'll go to the concept checklist. So first my input, okay, my input is going into the reformat where I will separate these two columns, okay, in the transform. I hope you know about this, separation, okay. So by using the count parameters. So if you are not sure, you can watch the above video, okay. I'll just ping the link above. Please watch that, like to understand the count parameter, okay. If you increase the count to 2, what will happen to the transform, okay, after reformat. So after that, my transform 0 will send this first column, my transform 1 will send this first column to the output. Okay, so I'm taking this this column and then I'm bringing it to resort. Okay, so I will do the reverse order here. Okay, and descending order. So and then what I can do is that, okay, so I have I have a 10 20 30 coming into his in this flow, and then I have CBC. Okay, after sorting it will be ABC. So these two columns will come into this is where fuse is coming. Okay, so this coming into fuse, and then in the fuse we have to write a code in such a way that it's a normal reformat transform code. Okay, so we can put out.id in.id and then out dot whatever field name here. Okay, so we can use that and then we can throw it to the output file. So the concept checklist here, that would be usage of fuse component and then reformat the count. Okay, when the count is 2, we need to know how to code the transform. Okay, for the transform 0 and transform 1. So these two components, okay, these two concepts are much needed for solving this use case. So this is the ideal design. Okay, you can try this in your GD and then we'll see the code. Okay, so first we'll just put the reformat, and then in the configuration would be count. Okay, so count would be 2, and then in the transform 0 I'm going to put out.id, okay, in.id. Okay, so that's it. So this would be for the transform 1 I'm going to put, okay, out.name, okay, in.name. Okay, so for this reformat structure, you can watch the reformat playlist. Okay, so where I discussed about out.reformat begin and function. Okay, so this is direct core line code. Okay, so this is a reformat code. Okay, both in both transform function. Reformat is over. Reformat is done. Okay, so this one is done. Then we'll just go to the next component. So wherein like we have sort here. Okay, so transform 1 is going to sort, right? So what we can do is that in the sort, the key is the name and then descending. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, so after this sort like flow data flow goes to the fuse component. Okay, so you have both flows coming into fuse, and then we'll write the code for fuse as well. So in the fuse, what happens? So here I'll just so this is the first time we are discussing fuse right in our channel, so I'll just give you the proper code. Okay, so it should be out dot fuse, and then you have two flows coming in. Okay, so for any component, okay, so when you write the function, so the inflow and then in 0 and then in 1. Okay, so you can rename whatever you want. Okay, so I'm just giving in 0 and then in 1. Okay, so this one, and then I written the function. Okay, let's bring it down there. Yeah, so we have written the skeleton. Okay, so I'm just writing the skeleton. Okay, so yeah, so now we can write the code inside. Okay, so you can write the code here. Okay, so I'll just put a code here, the main code here. Okay, so that's a command. So we can write out dot id. So where does the id come from? Okay, so it comes from the in0 port. Okay, so we have to specify properly that in0 dot id, and then out dot name. So your sorted output. Okay, your sorted name, the name is sorted. Okay, so cba, after sorting it becomes abc, and then comes in one flow. So in one dot name. So that's it. I think this one would be 10 comma 10, right, starting with the 10 20 30. Yeah, 10 20 30, and then your name after sorting it would be your a b c. So we have got the output. Okay, so the reason we have discussed a few here is tomorrow, like when we discuss on the header trailer compound. Okay, you need to understand the fuse compound. Okay, so before that we will saw maybe before that we'll see about dedupe sort as well. Okay, because you need to understand dedupe sort, and then fuse, and then roll up for for coding this header, header trailer detail record. Okay, so we have more concept in that one. We'll see slowly. Okay, so before that we'll cover dedupe sort, and then maybe while doing the dedupe sort we'll just bring in redefine as well. Okay, or straight away we can design redefine while while focusing on HTTP. Okay, so HTTP concepts, I'll just tell you the questions. Okay, what are questions coming in? So first would be you need to generate the records. Okay, so generate the header, detail, and then trail record. Okay, so this is one type of question, and then you have separate. Okay, separate the same. Okay, you to separate header. Okay, body. Okay, and then trailer. Okay, and then you have to validate. Okay, so you'll get any one of these questions. Okay, so when when you handle a header, body or detail, trailer, so when you handle this concept you will get any one of this question. Okay, so be prepared on this one. So you might get like maximum which company. Okay, so you may ask which company does ask this question. Okay, most probably like TCS or Capgemini. Okay, so these two guys, like they will ask most questions from these areas. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, we'll see this question. Okay, I know one user asked about this validation. Okay, so okay, validation part. So I'll come to these areas. Okay, before that I want you to make I want to understand this views and then dedupe sort fully. Okay, so share with your friends, and then we'll see in your we'll see you guys in the next video. Okay.